eyes are looking tired and droopy and you want to rejuvenate your eye area at home like I do here in my treatment room, stay tuned. I'm going to walk you through an eye treatment start to finish. First thing we want to do when we do a pro eye lifting treatment is we want to release the area. And a lot of people don't understand what I mean by release, but essentially what happens is every time we crunch up our eyes or make an expression on our face, it leaves behind a little tiny memory in our fascia, and that will sort of etch its way into our skin over the years. And so to get the best lift possible, we want to release before we lift. So here I'm using the Anma. It is a very ergonomic, easy to use gua sha tool. I've tried the flat ones and all these different types, and I tend to like this because it saves my hands. It's easy to learn how to use, and I don't really have the risk of like overly smashing a muscle or flattening my face with it. That's why I really love this gua sha tool. So here I'm just going to be using my hands. If you don't have a gua sha tool, never fear. This I call the 4 sides release. So we start on one side, and I'm not using a lot of pressure here. I'm using very little pressure. And I started out with some massage cream, as you can see. So we're releasing the side, and then we go in and release this area. And then underneath the eye, you anchor with one finger and slide along the bone, the orbital bone on the bottom there. And this will release a bunch of crap that gets stuck underneath there. And we'll do little S movements on the crow's feet area to get that to relax some more. And we do the top. So you anchor, and then you ride along that bone on the top there, and that's going to relieve more stretch. And now we're going to use our pinchers, and we're going to strip the eyebrow. And so these muscles get very overworked on many people. So we're going to do the exact same thing on the other eye. This is a light touch. Don't ask me why I have different colored all different colored nail polish. It's a look. It's the greatest, the newest craze. But I just wanted to get the video taped, and then I was like, wait, I have different colored nails. But hey, makes the video more festive, right? So little S's along the crow's feet to get that to relax some more. And then we anchor. We're going to ride that bone, that orbital bone. And then as soon as we do 4 or 5 of those, we are going to pull out our pinchers and strip the eyebrow area just to get that to relax. That area holds a ton of tension. So at this point, I need to apply some conductive gel so that I can have some slip and glide and also nourish my skin while I'm using my devices. So the first device I'm going to use is the Time Master Pro. This uses ultrasound and LED and has a little bit of EMS, so electric muscle stimulation. So this by itself does a really nice job around the eyes. You never want to use this right over the eyeball. Never want to use it there, but you can use it safely along the orbital bone, and you'll get a nice lift. And so it's really not a long treatment. You just want to do maybe 30 seconds to a minute each eye. A whole treatment for the face, neck, and chest is 10 minutes, so 1 minute per eye is plenty. You want to always keep it moving. And I'm showing this feature where you can actually turn off the LED in this device, which is nice if you have sensitive eyes. Otherwise, if you wanted to leave it on red, you could, the color red LED, and just leave it on and close your eyes while you're using it, and you'll get the benefits of LED as well while you're working this area. So I'm just going back over the other eye to kind of seal it in. This treatment I see some results immediately, but I usually see the best results from this a few days later. I'm like, wow, my skin looks great. So now we're going to use the Mini, which is a home microcurrent unit, and I like to use it right over my upper lid. Not everybody is a candidate for that move. If you have a hooded lid or really heavy lids, I would only do, starting out, I would do this part where you're lifting the forehead, because the forehead is going to be the opposing muscle to that upper lid. So you need to lift it by lifting the forehead. And you do that for a while before you do this move if you have hooded eyes. You really want to build up the forehead before you work on the upper lid if you have hooded eyes. So now I'm just doing the other side. Now look, I'm doing these way too fast. One stroke is usually 10 seconds. But for the sake of this video, I just wanted to show the moves. And if I did them in 10-second moves, people would click off. They'd be so bored. Anyway, these are vectors that help lift up the eye area. And like I said, you want to make sure that forehead muscle is nice and strong so that it does lift the eyes if you have hooded lids. But that's it. That's basically how you do it. I like to add a little bit of volume, so I will just do the circles on above the brow and below the brow, and that tends to make my eyes sort of snap back into place. And here I'm just doing a little bit of corrugator release. So if you have 11s or a 1 like I have, this helps release that, pull out that tension in those muscles that move there in the center. So yeah, just finishing up here with the eye area in microcurrent. Wanting to lift the other side of the eye a little bit more. If you have uneven eyes, which many of us have asymmetry, you can work more on one side than the other. And that's it. So the next step would be your eyelash serum. And this eyelash serum is from NeoGenesis, and it is a hormone-free lash growth gel based on human stem cells. So love this. It's great for healthy lashes, healthy long lashes. And this is the NeoBrow. And this brushes on sort of like a mascara. And I have sort of those tortured tiny brows that have diminished with age, but they're coming back. I just started using this again. And lastly, we're going to put on our NeoGenesis Eye Serum. This is 10% active ingredients. And this I love because it can go right over the top lid. It is one of those gentle giant types of products that will lift that lid in a really nice way. Yeah, so you put it upper and lower, and that's it. You are done. Now put on your favorite moisturizer.